Yo, what's good people? It's Ocean here and welcome to my new studio. Alright, welcome, come through, let me show you around. As you can see, we already got 2 doors in this studio, and that's because the good thing about this place is completely soundproofed. So I didn't have to bring like any of my sound panels that you saw in the last one. The walls are super thick here, so the acoustics are amazing. I'm pretty much going to show you around, show you all the equipment that I have in this studio. Another cool thing about this place, check this out. Jeez, it's got like this rainbow wheel. As soon as you step into the room, it's quite spacious. It's pretty much a very similar size to the last studio that I had, maybe just a little bit more narrower, but maybe a little bit longer at the same time. And there's no windows, there's no natural light, which I kind of like because I never know if it's light outside. And I feel like that's just good for focus. So yeah, starting from this side of the room, when you come in, we got the same side cart from the last studio setup. I used to have the same desk, but I'm just sticking with the side cart for now. And we've got the DJ decks where I can DJ, all of that stuff. This one is a DJJ 1000. Some pedals, some guitar pedals, I don't really use them too much these days. But for example, this one here, the hologram. At the moment, my guitars are just up on the wall because I don't have a guitar rack. That's coming in the mail, so hopefully that should come for next week. This side of the room is more like the loungy area, the chill out zone. Just a nice little sofa bed here. And then right here is where I keep like my food stuff. Tons of protein powder for the gains and all that. The golden smoothie, if you know, you know. Just a little mate cup for the tea. And then most people who've never come to the studio before, they think this is like an actual guitar amp. I had this in the last studio, but it's a fridge. All the coke, but it's not for me. This is for guests who come to the studio. And then on this side of the room, this is the real part. This is where all the instruments are. This is where the magic happens, as they say. So I guess we can start off with the desk. I'm not using the last desk that I have anymore, which is kind of similar to the output one that I used to use. I had it custom made just because I wanted like some extras, but I'm not using that anymore. I'm using this one, which is like an actual studio desk. And within the studio desk, I've got the patch bay, which is basically for the simps. I've got a power strip which turns everything on, and then I'm using an Apollo X8 strip right here, which is my audio interface. And then my headphones that I use most of the time is just a DT990 Pro. I think that's what it's called. The monitors that I'm using on each side, these are Adam A7Xs. They're really good, but I think for this room I do want to get way bigger ones. Maybe like some focals or something like that. The laptop I'm using is just a MacBook Pro M1. This is a power horse. I use this for everything. Editing, making beats on Logic, just some alcohol. I don't even drink no more. But these were gifts for the studio, so they look nice. I'll leave them there for now. The lights that I use for my video, just a key light. This is an Elgato key light. I'm using probably like one of the best mics that you can get. It's a Neumann U80-7. Has just this little thing around it to shield it. And a pop filter, it always falls down. When you record vocals for this, sounds absolutely amazing. So when I sit down to the right of me, I've got like, I guess you could say more of like the acoustic section. We've got the Rhodes Mark I piano. This is a classic, you know, this is from like 1976. This was in my last studio as well. I've just brought it here. You'll notice that it's a very similar layout to my last studio. And then we've also got the Pianet T, which it's acoustic and it sounds amazing. And then the MIDI keyboard that most of the time I'm using is a Keylab 61 by Altoria. I've got it here for now just because it's a bit awkward to just keep it on the desk all the time. It's a bit chunky, it's a bit big. So when I sit down, to the left of me is the Arturia Polybrute, and it's the one closest to me because this is my favorite. It just sounds amazing. The presets, they sound amazing off rip. Above that is a Juno 106. Above that is the Dave Sequential Prophet 6. Above that is the Sub Sequent 37, which is amazing for like basses and leads and that kind of stuff. I had all this in my last studio as well, so I've just brought it here. And then over this side is the Mellotron. And then below it, we've got the classic Korg Triton Pro. So the way how I have this all set up, everything is connected into my audio interface and into the patch bay. So basically, if I want to use, for example, the Juno 106, on my patch bay, I know that the outputs are these two, the 3-4, so I just have to connect them here and I can play. Or if I wanted to switch to the Prophet 6, unconnect that, put that in there and we're connected, and that's how I get everything sounding stereo. And then beneath that's nothing really interesting. I've got this box of cables that I need to sort out. For now, it's just here. We'll fix it though. A random other box, and then in this box is just a lot of percussion stuff, like a tambourine. I think I've even got, this is, I think they call this a clave maybe. Probably I want to get a nicer box though. It kind of looks a little bit ugly in the room, a little bit out of place. But yeah, that is the studio. This is my new studio for the foreseeable future. I think I'm just going to call this place like Tsunami Studios or something like that. It's been about a week since I've been in the studio and I'm enjoying it. I like it. It's a very different vibe from the last one I had. The last one was right in the middle of central London. Here it's way out, like very, very quiet. As I said before, like there's no windows, so I don't know what time it is. I can kind of just get lost in what I'm doing, which is great for focus. I can get into flow state really easily, really quickly. And that's perfect for me right now because I just want to focus and get a lot done this year. Plus, it's a good hub. There's a lot of really, really cool producers here as well that I can work with. But yeah, let me know in the comments below, what do you think of this studio? Do you prefer this one to the last one? Or if there's any recommendations for equipment that I should get. And all the stuff I've mentioned as well, I'm going to put in the description just in case you want to cop any of it. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe to this channel. I'll see you in the next one.